What are adjectives and how do you order them? Adjectives are actually words that are used to describe a noun or a pronoun. An adjective tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. However, more than one adjectives can be used to describe one noun. Let's take a look at this example to see how this is done. The girl in the short red dress is my sister. Now here we know that dress is the noun and we use two adjectives to describe the dress. We use short and we use red. So these are the adjectives that we have used to describe the dress. But how do you order them? In what particular order do you place them? How do you know that you should put the word short before red? Is there a need to take note of such things? Yes, there is. Adjectives have to follow an order. In fact, when we use more than one adjective, we have to follow an order to describe one noun. The adjectives usually follow the order such as this. Firstly, an adjective, a noun is described using several adjectives. Will have an adjective that has a general description first, followed by an adjective that describes the size, and an adjective that describes age, and an adjective describing shape, and an adjective describing color, and finally an adjective describing origin. So this is the order in which most adjectives are ordered in. Let's look at the same sentence again. The girl in the short red dress is my sister. Here, the girl in the short red dress, we have the noun, which is dress again, and we have the adjectives short followed by red. Why do we have this order? It is basically because we have to have an adjective of size first before we have an adjective of color. This is the order in which we group adjectives before that are used to describe a noun. Let's take a look at another example. The lady broke the expensive antique Ming vase. Now we know that expensive is an adjective, but it does not give us specific information. It does not tell us that it costs $1,000 or $1 million, but it just tells us that it is expensive. We don't know the actual cost. So this is actually an adjective of general description. That means it just gives you an overall description, not specific. But it is followed by antique. Antique is an adjective that describes age. And this is followed by Ming, which is an adjective of origin. It tells us what period this vase belongs to. That means it comes from China, but when was it made? It was made during the period when the Ming dynasty existed. So the emperors were of the Ming dynasty. And all these adjectives are used to describe one noun, which is the vase. So we know that the order of adjectives is very important when we are describing a noun using more than one adjective. Now let us look at some examples of adjectives of general description. My neighbor has a beautiful garden. This worksheet is difficult to do. Here beautiful and difficult are general description. Why do we say that? We do not know why exactly the garden is beautiful. Is it because it is filled with roses, or is it because he has a lot of flowering plants as well as fruit trees? So we don't know exactly what kind of a garden it is, but it is just beautiful to look at. It's pleasing to the eyes. This worksheet is difficult to do. Difficult here again is an adjective of general description. It does not specify exactly which part of the worksheet is difficult. We don't even know if the worksheet is a maths worksheet or an English worksheet. If it was a maths worksheet, maybe not entirely all questions may be difficult. It could be just the problem sums that are difficult, but we do not specify. We give an overall description. So here it is a general description adjective. How about adjectives of size? My neighbor has a gigantic garden. This t-shirt is too big. Now here we know that the garden that we were describing as beautiful earlier is also very large. That means we are talking about the size of the garden. This t-shirt is too big basically tells you that the size of the t-shirt is quite large. How about adjectives of age? I have a 12-year-old brother. Instead of just saying I have a brother, we give more detailed information about the brother, who is the noun. And we tell you that he is 12 years old. So I have a 12-year-old brother. This is an adjective of age. These buildings have historic value. They were built during the war. So here again, what sort of buildings are these? We are actually describing the building, and we are using the word historic, which tells us that it is quite old. It was built during the World War I or World War II, we are not sure, but it was built during a war. And of course, we don't have any wars occurring in Singapore recently. So it means that it has happened some time back. So historic is an adjective of age. Now to look at adjectives of shape. My neighbor has a rectangular garden. So not only does your neighbor have a beautiful garden, a gigantic garden, but a rectangular garden. The shape of the garden is in the shape of a rectangle. June has bought an oval dining table. So it gives more information about the noun dining table by describing the shape that the table is in. It is oval in shape. Adjectives of color also give more details about the noun that we are discussing. Do you like the orange shoes? So the shoes color is orange. It is used to identify which pair that the person, the speaker, is talking about. His face was as white as sheet. So now we know that the person's face is described, is the noun that is being described, and it is white. And how white is it? It is white as sheet. Now let us look at some examples of adjectives of origin. Origin means the place where the noun comes from, basically. So Maggie is not a Singaporean. Here Maggie is the noun that we are talking about, and she is not a Singaporean. Her origin is not from Singapore. She is from Australia. She is an Australian. So Australia is an adjective, is the noun, and she is an Australian. Alright, so here Australia is a noun because it is a place. However, when we are using it to explain where Maggie comes from, we would use it as she is an Australian. Australian is an adjective of origin. Let's see if we can get the order of adjectives right. Let's try some exercises. For this exercise, you need to fill the blanks in the correct order with the adjectives from the brackets.